Shanice, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a Christmas makeup look. More of a simple look than glam, which I am going to be bringing a glam look for all of my glam babes who love to go over the top whenever it comes to your eyeshadow game for Christmas. But for today, I definitely want to do something more simple, something that a lot of you guys can actually recreate at home. So I'm going to try my best to make it really easy for you guys to follow. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Okay, so I already have my brows done. For the eye primer, I actually went into something different. I normally go into my Urban Decay Eden Primer, but for today, you guys, I'm going to go into this eye cream base from MORPHE Beauty. If you guys are not familiar, this is a brand from, I always want to say Sephora. It's from Fashion Nova, and the shade that I'm going to go into today is called Coquito. So for the eyeshadows, I want to keep it very matte and then have like a little bit of glitter in the crease. That's really gonna be the start of the show for today, and it's gonna be really easy, I promise. I was kind of debating on what palettes I wanted to use today because I want to go into the Mario one just because this one has a bunch of like matte shades, as you guys can see here. They're all matte and there's no shimmers, and I really want to keep it in like the brown, you know, type of family. But then I also want to go into the 35XO palette by Morphe, because this one also has a bunch of browns and matte shades, also shimmer shades, but we're not going to go into shimmer today. I just kind of want to mainly stick to like the browns. And I feel like this is obviously more affordable than the Mario one. But actually, let me check to make sure that this palette is even in stock, because if it's not, I am going to be so mad at myself because you guys won't be able to buy it. So hold please. It is sold out. Sorry guys. Now, I did go to Ulta a few days ago and they had this in stores. So you know what? Let's go ahead and go into this because it's not as expensive. First shade I'm going to go into, you guys, is this one called A Body Language, which is this shade right here. And we're going to use this all over the crease. The hollow of our eyes right here, the crease, like where you open your eye, like that's where you want to place your transition shade, and then you want to move back and forth. And we're just going to warm up that eyeshadow, you guys, next to the brows as well. So kind of going into this section right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into another shade to blend out the edges of that first shade and apply it for the main lid on my brow bone. Now you guys don't have to go into a matte shade like I am. You can definitely apply some highlight there, which maybe I will do at the end of the video. We'll see how the entire look comes out. But for now, I'm going to go into Come Here Often, which is this shade right here. And I'm still taking my Morphe M433 and just literally highlight the brow bone. It kind of gives like a nice highlight. Can you guys see that? That's actually really pretty. I thought it was going to be more, I mean, it looks matte, but it does give it a nice highlight to the brow bone. Okay guys, so now for the main crease shade, and then to apply it towards this outer corner, I'm going to go into Double Tap and maybe a little bit of Met Online. So here is a Double Tap, which is this one right here. And then we're going to go into a little bit of Met Online, this shade right here. So we're going to go ahead and use both of those in the crease and still using the Morphe M433. First, I'm going to pick up a little bit of Double Tap, and what we're going to do is just place it right here in the crease like that, just to warm it up a little bit. It's really pretty. So it kind of gives me a little bit more of like a peachy, pinky vibe. So I think I'm just going to go into Met Online. Yeah, let's do Met, or actually, let's switch it up. Let's go into Let's Snuggle, which is the shade right here down below. I don't know why, but I thought double tap was going to give me more of like a brown. I don't know, but it's coming off more like of a pinky brown. So let's go into Let's Snuggle and do the same thing. Oh yeah, there we go. This is way better. I want that brown, like that brown shade, but not too brown, or it's too dark. I just want something very subtle. And just kind of applying it the same way going from the inner corner here, we place the first transition shade and then taking it back this way. I really like these eyeshadows because they are super soft and very, very buttery. If you guys have this palette and you agree with me, give this video a thumbs up. But I really like that they're super soft and they blend really well together. Don't feel chalky or anything. This is honestly a really good palette. So I'm not really in shock or surprised that it's currently out of stock. It's just really, really good. I really, really like it. And then just with a little bit more of that same eyeshadow, you guys, the shade called Let's Snuggle, I'm going to go ahead and apply some towards the outer corner. And then just with whatever you have left, start to just kind of flick it this way, just like that. And that's pretty much it, you guys, for the eyeshadows that we're going to use today. Of course, remember, with all my tutorials, I always say this, you guys can always switch it up. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. This is just the way that I want to do it and the way that I like it. So if you do want more intensity and you like more darkness towards the outer corner, by all means, girl, go ahead and add all that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply the main lid shade. Now, I do want to keep this look very on the matte side. I think that's kind of what I'm going for. But to be honest, like, this shade across the room is really like screaming out my name, so I think I might add that. Let me go ahead and dip into this first, which is the shade that we use to highlight our brow bone, and see what I am feeling. I want to see if that will be a good way to go, or we can add that shimmer shade. So I'm using another Morphe brush. This is the M167. And what we're doing, it's kind of like we're creating a half cut crease, but with eyeshadow. Normally we go in with, you know, like a base or a primer, but for today, I'm just gonna go into eyeshadow because it does give me a more softer effect. So let me go ahead and grab a little bit of across the room with the same brush. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so it gives it a nice like fairy dust on it. Like, no se ve a lot like on camera, but in person you can definitely see that there's a little bit of sparkle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna apply Come Here Often, which is the first shade we use, and then on top I'm just going to apply a little bit of across the room on the lid. So I did add a little bit of Fix Plus, or maybe a little bit of setting spray to intensify this eyeshadow a little bit more. I just thought it was so pretty. You can definitely stick to the matte shade. You don't have to use this shade that I just used. Alright, you guys, and then next I'm going to go back into my Morphe M433, picking up more of that Let's Snuggle shade, the shade right here. And what we're going to do is just literally tap it with our brush and then just lightly feather it on top of that shimmer shade that we just used, just to blend out any harsh lines, and that way it looks nice and smooth like that. So I'm going to go into some glitter though. I'm going to go into the Urban Decay Heavy Metal glitter liners in the shade Midnight Cowboy. This glitter, you guys, it is so bomb. I love their glitters because I love the applicator too. It makes it really easy to apply this product. And another thing that I really like about these is that they don't crack and they won't budge. They will literally stay in place. And sometimes I'll even use these for like glitter adhesive if I want to go into something more chunkier. I do go into this first, and then on top I'll lay it with the chunkier glitter. So I'm not going to go into no eyeliner. What I'm going to go ahead and do next is just apply some falsies. I'm going to go into some mascara first. I'm going to go into the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. And just coat my top lashes and just prep them for falsies. Alright guys, so now it's time for some lashes. So I'm going to go into the Dream, the Style Dream from Birdie Lashes. I already did a dedicated tutorial on me trying on both styles, the two styles that she came out with, so definitely check out that video. Alright guys, so now that my lashes are officially on, I'm going to go ahead and start with the skin. So I'm going to go into an oldie but a goodie, the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Primer. I haven't used this one actually in a very hot minute because I've actually been really obsessed, you guys, with the e.l.f. Luminous Matte Primer. One, obviously way more affordable, and I don't know why, I've just been really liking how that applies to my skin. But for today, I think I just want to go into something different. This one is definitely more moisturizing than the e.l.f. one. This e.l.f. one is obviously more on the matte side, but it still doesn't feel like super like dry, you know? For foundation today, I'm going to go into a drugstore product, the 24 Hour Superstay Foundation from Maybelline. and I am using the shade 332 Golden Caramel. So I'm going to go into with a foundation brush from Sigma. This is the flat kabuki, the F80 brush. I've been loving using kabuki brushes lately to apply my foundation, which is really crazy because I normally used to use the beauty sponges, you know, but lately I'm really liking the way that brushes are applying my foundation. I don't know why, I just really do. Okay guys, now it's time for some concealer. I'm going to go into the boi-ing Cakeless Concealer from Benefit. This concealer, you guys, is seriously so underrated. It is so good. I feel like it makes my under eyes look so flawless, yet without it feeling cakey, obviously. And it's really good. I'm very in shock that not a lot of people are talking about this concealer. Okay, so to cream contour, I do always let my concealer sit for a little bit. I always feel that whenever I do this and then I go in to blend it out afterwards, it just looks so smooth, and I feel like it covers a lot better than when I would blend it out right away. Go into the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer and the shade Butterscotch, right? No, Chestnut, sorry. To Chestnut, and I always apply it on the back of my hand. Now it is clean. Okay, my hands are clean. I don't apply products onto dirty hands, obvio, and then to my face. And I'm using the same brush, a Luxie brush that I got off one of my BoxyCharm boxes. So what I do is just start to apply it like if I'm applying bronzer. Don't have to do this step either. You guys can definitely skip out on cream contour. But for me, I love using it because once I go in with bronzer, it's kind of like using a transition shade, you know, and then you build up the intensity. And it really allows my bronzer to stay in place for a very long time. And I just love how it just gives it more darkness. I love being really bronzy and really bronze, and I want my contour to stay in place. And I just feel like this really allows that. So I just love cream contouring a lot. But there are days where I only go into bronzer. I don't ever really go into cream contour like daily. No, this is only like on special occasions. Now for my nose, I'm going to go into this Bella brush that I got in the holiday collection. I've been loving this guy to blend out my cream contour on my nose. It really allows it to really stay where I want it to stay. I don't know, I just really like it. Now go ahead and start to blend out your concealer, you guys, and then I do go back into that Luxie brush that we use to apply our cream contour to blend out any harsh lines. We don't want to see where the concealer stops, so just blend that away. Okay, so now that we blended out all of our creams, I'm going to go into the One Size translucent powder. And I'm going to go ahead and just set the areas that we placed our concealer. Now you guys can also just grab a brush and then just apply the powder underneath if you don't like the baking method. That also works really well. I do have combo to oily, so whenever I'm going to parties or I'm going somewhere out, I really want my makeup to stay in place. So for me, the only thing that works is baking, the baking method. I haven't found anything else that really helps me yet, where, you know, I feel like this just really controls my oils. But of course, I don't bake every single time. I only bake when I'm going to like an event where I just really want my makeup to stay in place and I want my oils to be controlled. If I'm going to the store or just somewhere simple, I do just, you know, powder on some powder. I'm gonna go into my full spectrum COVERGIRL Matte Ambition Powder Medium Tan Neutral. So this is the powder that I've been going into as a bronzer. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love to use this to set my cream contour and use it as a bronzer as well. I just feel like personally, I don't know, I just really like it. I haven't found a bronzer that I've been like super obsessed with that I'm like, oh yes, like I can't live without it. Like this is it for me. And then this one too from Maybelline, the Fit Me powder in the shade 330. This one's also really good to use as a bronzer. This one's actually a bronzer, right? Or what is this? Just this matte and poreless normal to oily powder. I don't know if it's a foundation. This is a foundation. It just says powder. I think it is. But anyways, I like to use these to use as, you know, my bronzer. And then for my nose, you guys, just doing the exact same thing. I switch over to a clean brush. This is from MORPHE Cosmetics. And then with whatever you have up, you guys start taking it into the eyeshadow. Now while we do everything else, I just like to set my nose like this with some extra powder. And this really makes it, I mean, I feel like for me, it makes it look really skinny. I don't know. But I really love doing that. So now for blush, I need to start buying new blushes because I'm noticing that I don't have that many blushes. I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Peachy Love, and I think I'm going to go into Ginger and Nectarine, which is these two right here. This one has a little bit of shimmer, as you guys can see. So I want something more on the matte side. And I've been loving this blush trio actually. They have different colors too if you guys haven't checked out Anastasia's blushes. I really like them, and they're matte. I love using matte blushes. I sometimes also like to use blushes that have a little bit of shimmer, but I have a lot of texture right here. So I like to preferably use, you know, more of like the matte shades and then just apply a little bit of highlight right here, because that photograph's really pretty. I'm gonna go into my Sigma, the E55 eye shading brush. Let's go into Just Friends, this shade right here. And we'll run that towards our bottom lash line, just to give it a little bit of darkness down there, so that way it doesn't look too bare and too nude. Okay, so for my waterline, I'm gonna go into my MAC Chromographic pencil, and it's very creamy on the eye too, and like it instantly highlights this under eye for me, or my waterline. Like, look how bright that is. I personally love a nice bright under eye like this. It really allows my eye to look larger and appear bright and awake. Okay, so now for highlight, I've been really obsessed, you guys, with Estate Makeup's baked highlighters. I've mentioned them a lot here on my YouTube channel. This is in the shade called Bye. I'm going to go into the Morphe M451 brush, and I'm going to use that to apply the highlight. And a little bit goes a long way, you guys, with this highlighter. It's just, look at that, it's just so pretty. I also have a code with them if you guys want to use that. I will also link it down below for you guys. But I really like them. They kind of remind me of ColourPop. Super cute packaging and just really good. I've been just really obsessed with this highlighter. Okay guys, so now it's time to apply the lipstick. Now I do want to go into a red because obvio, since it is Christmas, I definitely want something Christmassy on my lips. So for the lip pencil, I'm going to go into Scarlet by Morphe Cosmetics. I'm going to apply my lip pencil first, and then we'll jump into the liquid lipstick. I'm actually going to go into the matte lipstick from MAC Cosmetics when they collaborated with Rosalia, and it's in the shade VG26. What I like to do is take a clean tissue paper, and what I do is apply it in between my lips, and this gives me a more matte look. Even though this lipstick is matte, but it kind of still gives me more of like a shiny velvety feel, so I want this to be as matte as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you see how automatically it makes my lips matte versus on the shiny side. So now to set my face, because we did apply a lot of powder and all that stuff, I do like to go into a more of a luminous setting spray, especially with winter right now. It's not hot, so I'm not going to be melting off all of my face. Alright my honeys, and that is it for today's makeup look. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm actually really liking it, to be honest. I love that it's such a simple eyeshadow, yet I feel like the glitter really helped out this eyeshadow look. And even without the glitter, it can still be a very simple and classy eyeshadow look for the holidays, especially for Christmas, since a lot of us, I think, are going to be stuck at home. So this eyeshadow look is super easy, and I hope you guys understood the steps and were able to follow along at home. And you guys can see with throwing on a really bold lip can really bump up this makeup look and make it look very festive. You know, I know for sure I'm going to be at home or at my aunt's house, so we're not going to be going outside or doing anything, you know, spectacular, obviously, because of COVID. So this is definitely a makeup look that I would wear to just sit and chill in la sala and take a bunch of selfies for Instagram. Of course, I do have another look for you guys. It's going to be a little bit more on the glam side, because I know that there's a lot of you guys that watch my videos that also love to rock something more smokier, more glam. as much as I do. But I'm not mad at this look either. So I really hope you guys learned from today's tutorial. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. Of course, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe before you do leave my channel today. I love you guys so much. Happy holidays, and I will see you guys in my next glam Christmas video coming up right after this one. Besitos. Bye.